So I think that's it for the introductory information here. Next, I want to welcome Mary Ford, who's the Director of Engagement and External Relations with Maricus, who's stepping in for their Director, Gerhard Kuska, who's a bit under the weather today. So I'll turn it over to you, Mary.
Thanks, Matt. I also have my lovely assistant, Bridget, over here. She's learning a lot at a 18-month-old. So yeah, on behalf of Maricus, I'm thrilled to welcome you to the 2022 ACT Network meeting. It's been really fun to see this network and the community grow over the years. And we want to keep looking for more opportunities to bring together the animal telemetry research community and the oceanographic research community. These shared data are really key to the Mid-Atlantic stakeholders and decision makers in this really important region that we all live and work in. I really appreciate, we on behalf of Maricus really appreciate Matt and Kim and the whole team for continuing to look for new and creative ways to partner. And just want to throw it out there, I know I say this a lot, but if there's anything we can do for anyone on this call, or even if it's just promoting all the cool work everyone's doing, don't ever hesitate to reach out and contact me. I'll throw my email in the chat just so that everybody has it, but you can also find it on the Maricus website. So yeah, with that said, I'll pass it back to you, Matt and Kim, and I'm really looking forward to this meeting and hope we can do this in person soon.
Great, thanks, Mary. Okay, so I just have a few brief network updates for all of you here. First, just wanted to mention funding for the database and network coordination work that we're doing here at Smithsonian. We were included as part of the 5-year Maricus proposal and have received the first year of funding for that, which includes funds for network and database management, which is the primary part of it. We also manage the ACT Network Twitter feed at ACT Telemetry, and Kim's been posting that. But we'd love for you all to to include us in your social media as well, and we're happy to help work with you to promote your research, either through a Twitter takeover or retweeting your work or other things. So please consider that, and we're happy to help get the word out about your work. Then the other thing we received a bit of funding for is to develop and write up a few case studies highlighting the application of telemetry research for different types of management questions. And so we'll be reaching out at some point soon to get some ideas for what we might do for those case studies. But that'll be a more in-depth way through things like blog posts or other types of articles or ArcGIS story maps to share details about what the neat research is that's being done and then how it's being applied for various management questions. The proposal also included an idea to have funding for putting the Delaware Coastal Acoustic Telemetry Array back out in the field. That wasn't funded this year, but there are potential opportunities for that to be funded in the future. So we'll keep searching for those funds. We also coordinate the ACT Network Steering Committee, and we're interested, especially as we've had a lot of new members join the ACT Matos database from the Northeast. We're interested in expanding that steering committee a little bit, and that's why we included that question in the survey that Kim sent out before the meeting. So we'll be reaching out to folks who responded positively to that. We're also interested potentially in adding a student member. So if you have a grad student who might be interested in serving on the steering committee, please have them reach out to Kim or me. And we're interested in getting some student feedback and potentially having some student activities as well. And finally, on this slide, we're hoping we can plan an in-person meeting for this coming fall. We'll see how things go with COVID, but that's our tentative plan, because we want to see all of your smiling faces in person and get to back towards hoping to build the community more through personal interactions and conversations, and the more in-depth discussions about the future of the network that we can have in an in-person meeting. Next slide. The other thing, which I'm really excited to share with you this morning, is that we've been talking and planning for a year or so, but we are launching today the ACT Network Student Conference Awards. These are funds to support either undergraduate or graduate students to attend a conference, and if they have telemetry research to present, to help them present their research at a conference. This can be current students or students who are within the first year after graduation from their degree. We're going to award at least 2 awards of up to $500. The priority will go to students who are presenting research conducted within the ACT network or are at institutions within the Mid-Atlantic region that might be doing their telemetry research somewhere else. And the applications are going to be due March 15th, 2022. And in particular, we created these awards to try to help engage more diverse students in telemetry research and create opportunities. And so if you go to the ACT Network website, which is linked here at the bottom, we have the information, more detailed information about the award program here, and the application materials there. So again, those will be due March 15th, and we'll be sending out a tweet later today as well. But we hope you share this amongst your students and think about who might be able to be supported by these awards. And then we also will be hoping to get information from the students about how the conference went and a photo that we can share on the ACT Network and Maricus websites. And the awards are in this first year are split 50-50 on a private donation and then funds that Maricus is providing. But we're also hoping to do additional fundraising for this to increase the amount of the awards in the future. And if you have questions about this, just feel free to shoot me an email during the meeting or later to talk about it, or there's information on the ACT Network website that has contact information as well for finding out more. But we hope we get some good applicants this year and can support students getting out there and sharing their work at conferences. So with that, I think I'm turning it over to Kim next for some more detailed network database updates.
Good morning again, everybody. So first, I figured I would start with talking about the ACT Dropbox. So as a reminder, that's the sort of the original tag list that was set up that we used to all share our data with, where you upload tag numbers and then you send out emails to people as you check on your receivers. So that is still sort of active, and thank you all for answering some of those questions in the meeting registration. That helped me kind of figure out, are people still using this a little bit all the time? And it looks like it's somewhat 50-50. So we're going to keep this going. So we'll do a next round of updates in March. So send me any new tags you've put out. If you're uploading into the ACT Matos database and you want those tags added to the Dropbox, just let me know. And then when I'm processing those tags, I can process them for the Dropbox list as well. And then along with that update will also be, our next data push coming. So some updates on numbers that you probably maybe have not seen in a little while. So yeah, the database has been up and running since 2020. So we're now, into 2 years of getting this going and data sharing. And we currently have 85 projects in the database with 108 researchers using it and across 70 different institutions. So we've really grown a lot. I mean, even, definitely since the beginning, but in the last year, it's really kind of blown up. We've got, over 4,000 tags, and 2,500 of those are active, which is great, across 44 different species. And we have we've matched over like 9 million tags. So we've got, receiver detections coming in, tag numbers coming in. It's been really doing well. And then there's about 413 active stations, and I think even more of that, as some of you have already been uploading data for the next data push. And we've put at least 4 different glider missions have submitted data. So there's been a glider off of North Carolina, and there's actually currently a glider off of New Jersey that's based out of Rutgers that's out there collecting data right now. So along with those match detections that I was talking about, I put this graph up here, and it really just kind of shows you, the progress that we've made since 2020 when things first started till now. So on the y-axis, you have, the total number of matched, or the total number of detections that we've been getting. And then on the x-axis, you've got, the dates. So yeah, in 2020, we started off with just under 8 million, and now we're up to almost 20 million total detections. And as a reminder, match detections are those receiver detections that come in that positively match to a fish swimming around with a tag ID number in it that we have data on. And the unmatched or unqualified, as some of you will see in your data extracts, are the tag numbers that we just don't have information on yet. They could also be false tag numbers, but most of them are probably just tags we haven't yet have data in the database for. So some historical stuff, some new stuff, and all of the above. As this keeps growing and getting bigger, we'll kind of start seeing those unmatched detections get smaller and smaller. It'll probably never be 0 because of some false detections and overlapping, but it will definitely keep getting smaller. But so many people are adding receivers and tags, so it just keeps getting bigger. And kind of a thing I'm going to start pushing kind of more this year, and it's optional but definitely beneficial, is loading in some of your vendor spec sheets. So when you order tags or order receivers, you get, at least from Innovacy, because that's who we work with out of my lab, you get specifications on your tags and or receivers, like serial numbers and your tag IDs and what kind of device it is. And if you upload those sheets directly into the database, you don't have to play with them or do anything or any special formatting. They're already ready to go. You can have your serial numbers and tag numbers and receiver numbers kind of verified. Right now you're just typing in tag numbers in an Excel sheet and then passing them in. Well, we all make mistakes. So this was a way for you to definitely make sure that those are 100% accurate, because I have no way of knowing if your tag is 123 or if it's actually 125. So it's a great way just to make sure everything is going in correctly. And we do take, not just Innovacy Vemco tags or receivers. We can hold data for low tech and Sonotronics. And that is why we ask for all of that, extra information about who your, equipment is running from. And as a last reminder, so along with the Dropbox updates, we're also coming up on another data push deadline. So that will be March 10th to get all of your data either emailed to me or uploaded into the database. And I'm talking about the, ACT-Matchos database. My hearing just fell off. Through the website. So that will be March 10th. And this afternoon, we're going to do kind of a study hall. So if you've been kind of sitting on data and trying to, make some time to do it, well, this afternoon would be a great opportunity. I will be available, and I think some people around from OTN will be hanging on so that they can help us, get everything together, and we can go over formatting if you have questions, or how to upload, or anything that you've kind of been wondering and you've been putting off and not wanting to sit down and try to deal with. We can at least get things started, probably not finished, but we can get most things started and going. And yeah, that is pretty much all I have. So next we will be having Bill join us from ATN, giving us some updates.
Thank you, Kim. Can you hear me okay? Yep. Can you drive the slides for me, please? All right. Okay, thank you very much. That was exciting. I was not up to speed on the number of detections and data that you have in there. So that is fantastic, just in a very short period of time, 2 years. I'll try to run through this quickly. As Kim said, for those of you who don't know me, I am the ATN network coordinator. I sit in the IUS, the NOAA IUS Integrated Ocean Observing System office in Silver Spring, but I haven't been there in 2 years. So I'm in my house in Montgomery County in Maryland. Next slide, please, Kim. So here's a quick summary of what the ATN is all about. All the Y words: unity, sustainability, and continuity to the U.S. Animal Telemetry Network. It is a multi-agency program in the U.S. You can see the logos of those who are involved there. Next, Kim, please. We operate through 3 separate components. The first one, alliances and collaborations. That's where we get together with our besties and try to recruit more besties to be part of our team. There's a nostalgic picture there of the first meeting that we had in Delaware, and I'm not sure, was that the last one that we had as in person or not? I think it was, yeah. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do that later in the year. Second component has to do with the data. We have a sizable data assembly center capability where it is run by our data coordinator, Dr. Megan McKinsey, and that's where data is aggregated, managed, made available, accessible to the public when possible, and that is available at if you Google or just go to the link portal.atn.ius.us and it'll come up. And I won't go into detail on what's in there, but that is the data side of our 3-component program. Third one, I love the picture, Kim. I put that in there. Third one is where we actually put money out into the community to support / strengthen existing networks and build some new ones. So those are the 3 pieces that we have been operating on for the last 6 years. Thank you, Matt. Next slide, please, Kim. Here's a few of the collaborative activities that fit that first category. As many of you know, we have been extremely fortunate to be able to support both the ACT and FACT data managers, plus operation and maintenance for the Matos tool through Maricuz and Socorro, the Southeast Coastal and Ocean Regional Association of IUs. So that's been a huge effort, and we're very pleased to see the results that are coming out of that. Another one here, I think Greg is going to talk about this later, but we have been working with Greg Scomo and Mass Division of Marine Fisheries on being shark smart and helping to keep the Cape Cod beaches safe. Third piece here is very interesting, that your successes on the East Coast, and when I say your, I mean ACT and FACT, and Joy is on the call here, that these have inspired the creation of other nodes and the planning for other nodes. And there is one that is actually now just has officially been established in the Pacific Islands called PIRAT. We're arguing about what acronyms we need to use now, but PIRAT actually turned out to be a good one. And that is a cooperative effort among the, I won't read the names on the screen there, but it's a collaborative effort, and the OTAN is pleased to be able to help support some of that. In addition to the Pacific Islands one, there is now planning activities going on for a West Coast node. That's a very general statement, but it's taking on a more serious bent right now. And in all of these, I must mention that, thank you, John, that none of this would be possible without the OTN and the efforts that we have had going on with them and their support and everything. So we are very grateful to our friends to the north to make all of this happen. Next, Kim. We're also working with FACT and with Joy and Axiom to help move this data visualization tool, and I suspect that Joy may be saying something about that later, so I won't steal her thunder. Next, please, Kim. What's new? The Integrated Ocean Observing System office in NOAA, where I sit, houses not only the Animal Telemetry Network, but the Marine Biodiversity Observation Network. I think many of you are familiar with that, maybe even be participants in it. We have been working for the last couple of years to try to unify the ATN and MBON in any way possible that we could. We have had an opportunity in this last fiscal year, fiscal year 22, to actually go forward with a very large ask in the federal budget of $15 million for a thing we're calling the IU's Marine Life Program, which is built on the foundation of ATN and MBON. That's the good news. The bad news is that you've all seen the chaos and all of that is happening on Capitol Hill, to the extent that that this ask, the $15 million, is all tied up in that and is dependent on a successful Build Back Better plan. And while it's still pending, we're not optimistic that this will come through in FY22, but we're still going to continue to pursue it in the next fiscal year. So that will include, as the name implies, a significant amount of animal telemetry, and hopefully will get us even further down the capabilities for merging and unifying and integrating, whatever word you want to use, the biodiversity and the animal movement parts of monitoring ecological change. Next, Kim, please. This is a busy slide. I'll let you read that later, but this is kind of a description of what that Marine Life Program would look like. Components are listed on the left there, a lot of supporting existing activities and adding to them. The green dots are where the IU's regional associations sit. And of course, virtually everything we do is in cooperation with and sometimes through those regions. So next, Kim. For those of you who are not aware, I actually have established a date to retire for the fifth time. And it's actually going to happen on June 30th, 2022. So 5 months-ish from now. We have a planning effort underway for succession, and we don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but we're working on that, and I will keep you up to date on how that goes. Our plan obviously is to have somebody to replace me. Hopefully we'll overlap with and be able to come in before my departure, so they can be brought up to speed very quickly. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on that one.